What's going on YouTube and cryptocurrency family? My name is Harry and I am the Crypto Vet, and thank you so much for tuning back in. Today we're just going to do a quick look on Bitcoin and why I am super bullish on all cryptocurrency in general. I'm going to just go over some of the trigger points that I'm going to be looking for as far as daily and hourly candle closes to kind of help me gauge whether or not I'm going to put more money in, or is this that fake out and I'm worried that we're going to go back down and test some of those supports again. So, but without further ado, please like and subscribe so I can keep bringing more content. Tomorrow I will be putting out a video on how to find altcoins on your own. So that way you don't have to just listen to me and other stupid ass YouTubers to, figure out what you should be putting your money into. And, you watch our videos and it's real easy to FOMO in and go, man, this guy, he's got a YouTube channel, he's making money, he has to know what he's doing. I tell you this, I make tons of trades that I only make like $1 or I'll lose $5 to $10. But I make stop losses and take profit points to make sure that my loss is mitigated and that my gains for my risk ratio is higher, so that way one good trade could pay for 5 bad ones. So I'm going to go on a whole video on where I get most of my information, how I put all the information together, and maybe hopefully it'll help you make better picks. That way, if you do find some YouTuber that has a good one, because I said a lot of them are talking about the same ones that I think are very, very good. But if you go to one of their channels and you see one, you can actually go in and do your own investigations and kind of know what the information that you're reading, because it's real easy to get deep into this stuff and it is very confusing, especially if you're going to try to get down to the programming level in blockchain and burning stuff through the peer-to-peer networks. And without further ado, let's get started. So if we go ahead and start off on CoinMarketCap, it is currently 12:45 Texas time. It's 12:45 in the morning, July 23rd. Bitcoin just broke under the 9,500 mark here. Right when I was about to start recording, we were at 95.02. We stayed at 95.12 for I think at least 2 hourly candles, somewhere around there. So it's been trying to see if we're going to build support here or if we're going to come crashing back down. Ethereum is up 7.67%. I've always loved Ethereum's ideas and where they're going. They fix one problem, and I think for overall and all the money, I think XRP solves the another problem. So I don't just go into one thing. Be sure to diversify a little bit. And remember, I am a doctor/idiot. This is not financial advice. This is just what I do to make money and work only 20 hours a week. So, but other than that, not any other huge movers. Chainlink is holding steady and building support, showing that it could go off to another rally, especially if something like Bitcoin or Ethereum were to break upwards. But coming back to Bitcoin here, we're on the daily candle chart. This is zoomed in with, it has my previous resistance line, previous support line, and it also has our 20 DEMA and the Bollinger Bands on here, just so we can kind of see that we have finally broken out of what was this consolidation pattern here. And if we look to see how we've broken out, because we've been stuck in this, so it's real easy to get sidetracked and just go, oh, we're out of it, we're good to go. It's not really the case, because we've actually broken out once. Let's not even count these 2 and 3, but technically 3 times now, 4, 5. And then, we held it up, came down 6. So we've broken through this, but we've never been able to hold it. So just us breaking out here is not my trigger that it's good. The reason it is bullish now in the short term is just the fact that we are back above our moving average. We are above this trend line, and we are now, staking our ground here. So if we could close this daily candle in 18 hours above this line, realistically above the 9,400 mark, only because 9,400 has been a top for us before. So I see a lot of sell pressure at that number, so I can see us dropping right back down below. So if we could close this candle here, I would be very, very bullish that we will start to come up, and our next big number is going to be, of course, 10,000. Then after 10,000, I think 10.5 will be a big one, just because it's a big even, and it was where we stopped the last time, and we can just keep going up and figure out which lines we need to go through. But if we break through this, it's just going to be a bull run, and as long as we can stay in a healthy market and the world doesn't completely go under on us, we should be pretty good. So let's go ahead and move on to the 4-hourly candle, and I'll go ahead and zoom in a little bit on this one just so we can get into this a little bit more. So on the 4-hourly candle chart, we can see that we had our rally where we came from 91.50-ish, and we rallied up, let's see, about 2.5%, which is nothing for Bitcoin, but for us right now, this is huge numbers being put on the board, right? Well, we came up, busted out of the Bollinger Bands, but we had a nice healthy recovery with support on the 20D EMA, which is key. This is, if we can find support back on top of this, it sends bullish. So with this 20D EMA showing us support, for several, 12 hours or so, then we had another rally back up to where we came up to here, and now we are above this resistance line, staying within a healthy region of the Bollinger Bands. As we were coming out, we didn't have a sharp correction that sent us far down to retest this moving average. We're finding support right now above this resistance line, right around the 9,500-ish. So if 9,500 is able to hold, I see those going to the moon. There's not much that would worry me at that point unless we had another, bad thing happen. To keep going a little bit more, let's go ahead and go to the hourly chart. You can still see in the hourly chart, it's that same narrative that I was trying to paint. We're staying within our limits. We got support at the bottom of the Bollinger Bands here in this tight pattern here, and this here is only $50, because we're getting into an even tighter window here. As we overshot, we're doing again a nice little correction here. This isn't the exact pattern I'd like to see for a bullish part, because we're kind of in a how to describe it, but just this descending, not really a descending triangle, but we could say it's a descending triangle just by putting it here, but we've actually broken under that. So I was looking more for like a pennant flag or something like that, but nothing ever comes all the way. Right now I think there's a lot of worry in the market, and as we see things go up, we get excited. So I think there's a lot of FOMO happening now, because right now we're at a 50-50 pull. All it takes is we cross one of these resistance lines and it becomes a support. It could be a cascade from there, because at that point a bunch of people will start switching sides. We hit a certain number, that's all of a sudden that's the one extra person on this side of the seesaw that's going to make it go down. So this $9,500 range would be a really key point to watch. There was another thing I wanted to show you. Oh yeah, on the RSI. Let's go ahead and change this to the 4-hour. I picked the 4-hour specifically because this trend here seems to be like just the perfect little wave, right? And when I'm looking at this, I'm trying to just find a direct correlation with this RSI to this new top that we're setting here, as far as this little window of all we can see. And as I see this bounce here, I see that we got a little bit in the over sold territory, and we recovered, not much. We didn't drop anywhere near to a low or over bought area. But then we rallied up, and so at this point right here, when we were oversold, we were selling at 93.98. We moved back over here to this one where we're not much higher in value, and we sold all the way up to 9,500. So if Bitcoin can just hold this out, let's say for 3 or 4 days, and just build a support line of that 9,500 previous resistance, I think that 9,500 will hold more support than these previous lines had before, and that will become our new foundation to go up from there. Only because that 9,500 has been a trigger for so many things across the board. Anywhere you go, it's a big even. We've traded at 9,500-ish so much during this consolidation period. We need to get above that and hold that, especially now since we've already broken through and never found support. If we could turn that 9,500 into support, I see a lot of a lot of upside to go from there. But my point was with the RSI being still at the same range, but our price range going up. If we can just bring this out, we just basically can keep that oversold point from not happening by just dragging it out, and that could build that support that'll help us go to the moon. And with all that, XRP, I mean, pick any of the other cryptos, Chainlink, VeChain, Cardano, all of those have the potential to go out of this after the top of their rally. We've been dipping down a little bit. If something happens, we can go up. And the biggest news for today that can cause all of these things to happen is the fact that U.S. banks can now provide custody services for crypto assets. The OCC said today that the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency just announced that any American bank can hold digits assets for its customers. So this is huge. If this can actually come to fruition and actually be implemented really, really quickly, this would be a perfect segue for anybody who's very unfamiliar with the crypto space to just get their feet wet. Because, we have a coin shortage, so people can't use money, they have to use their cards, right? So we have an inability to use fiat currency the way that we've been doing it for now. Like certain stores and restaurants aren't allowing you to use cash because COVID risks, and they just don't want to handle it. Also, then the coin shortage, there's not enough change to keep redistributing to everybody as more and more transactions are still made with cash. So we phase out the ability to use it, force individuals in a sense to psychology wise use their cards more. Then regulation comes out saying you can now hold cryptocurrency, which was once illegal, and only for people who are trying to scam the world or buy drugs, whatever tickles your fucking fancy. But they did all of this stuff just to ease everybody in, because you can't just say tomorrow, nope, there's the digital dollar. It has to be in phases, and everything's happening now right before this election, right before we're about to do a huge, $2, maybe $3 trillion stimulus package. So it's like all the pieces are just, going into order. But this is huge because now if you don't want to have to deal with, the trading and wallets, I have 5 different accounts that I use for trading just because they offer different tokens. I have at least 5 wallets because not every wallet can hold tokens, and not everybody's going to want to deal with that. There was a huge learning curve, which is part of the reason why I started the YouTube channel, so that way I could help answer those questions and just show everyone that this isn't as hard as you think, and you could easily set yourself up for financial success just by putting in a little bit of effort now. So but that's gonna do it for today. I will say that I'm super impressed with token metrics. Whoa, that got really bright. I'm really impressed with token metrics. I was able to get in on 2 altcoins that I wasn't very familiar with, but after looking at all the data that token metrics puts out, which is amazing, they put what used to take me like 10 or 15 different websites and searches, I can pull up in about 4 seconds. Just like, for example, let's pick Blockstack. So I can go to Blockstack here. Once it loads, I guess I'm going to get faster internet. I'm on that Dollar Tree Wi-Fi here. Okay, here we go. So, you can just go to this right here, just the fundamentals page. We go down, shows a fundamental summary, technical summary. So like, first thing I'll always do is just, go check out the fundamentals, look at everything here, but then let's say you want to see the technical analysis and you don't have time to watch me put out a huge video where I don't even include half this information, right? You can nitpick exactly the information that you are curious on and how does this compare to another coin. I think it's really, really wonderful. Like I said, tomorrow I'm going to be putting out a video that is specifically to show you how I pick altcoins, how to do the research on your own, explain some of the terms that may be confusing to you, specifically when you're looking at the fundamental analysis between different blockchains or different coins. You may just get a huge spiel about how their blockchain is different from another one, and I had to do research on this to figure it out myself, so if I can make it simpler, I'll try my best. But then you can see how I'm building a portfolio now to prepare for when Bitcoin does take off, because I expect a lot of these coins to go up, but not hardly any of them to last. The ones I expect to last, I'm not touching at all. The ones that I expect to go up enough, I have specific take profit margins all in a spreadsheet, so that way as they're going up, I know exactly where my currency is and which wallets. I know exactly how much I'm going to take profit, know exactly how much I'm going to sell. If another point is hit, I know that it's time to, back out. So I'm just going to show you guys how to do all that stuff yourself, because what if I can't upload a video in a day and you don't have time to know that I backed out because one thing happened that I forgot to say in the video. So, I'm going to try to I'm going to get that put out tomorrow, but otherwise, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and you guys have a good night.